Yeah.
This is what it really means. I said, guys, now from here I was able to go backwards, and I said, okay, now let's see what the fire code and the building code said. And there's an or there. And I said that the International Building Code says shall be examined or tested. So, and in Chicago it says critical examination. So I said, okay, so what that means is the or is the other satisfactory evidence to have adequate strength. So then I kept this and or is very important. There's nothing, no better guarantee in the world than a load test. And again, load testing is something that's past the confidence test, meaning you can't have any internal rust, and every connection must be repaired. Then you can load. You can't load test as is. That must be put out. So this or shows here, certified basically says satisfactory evidence is the word certified or examined. Tested means load test. And then here on the International Fire Code, which is based, what we're using the New Jersey one, it says depending on upon the structural condition, and that's the evidence, a load test of any fire escape shall be conducted, which is a load test, before it can be returned to service. This is what we're doing here in Bob Hope. You're not going to allow this thing to go back to service until there's some sort of guarantee that lets you go home and go do something else.
Right.
So I need to guarantee you, so you're the authority having jurisdiction. And the last thing that I'll say, and we used it, I spoke briefly with you about this, is who's the authority? Because up here it was kind of questionable. Is it the professional engineer? Is he the authority? Who's the authority? The authority having jurisdiction. What's that mean? Is that the engineer?
Fire.
Fire or building, right? Because in some cases, I'm going to pull it away from fire because there's a permit pulled on it and now the building's into it, but it's okay. The authority having jurisdiction or joint jurisdiction.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
There's going to be a sequence of events going on anyway, but it's not this guy anymore, is it? Mm-hmm. So will you ever in your lifetime take an opinion letter from this guy? Yeah, it kind of looks good, dude. Here, Tim, here's to the best of my information, knowledge, and belief, that fire escape is structurally sound today.
It's not a good idea.
Right? So with minimal training, you've realized that the code has been backing you up all along, and it has already given you the one thing you need to sleep well at night, and that's called a load test. But we're not here to sell load tests. The timely, they're expensive, there's risk associated with them, and if you basically can refurbish a fire escape, everything external is totally refurbished, and everything internalized, unable to be x-rayed, or if you can duplicate that in any way, then you've met the other satisfactory evidence.
Right.
And while that is going on, I wanted to be a professional engineer overseeing the other satisfactory evidence because I don't got time to babysit that vendor who works all odd hours and nights and weekends and stuff like that, and I don't know, and did somebody photograph the hole in the wall, and I already got what I need so that you don't have to think about it. Just load test it. So I wrote a violation. Are you going to fix it yourself, Mr. Homeowner? Yes, I'm going to fix it myself. Great. As soon as you're done, let me know. I'm going to load test it. Why? Because there's nobody watching you. And I know you're going to try to do the best job you can, but I need a guarantee. You can't give me what are you going to write it on a napkin that I did my own job and it looks great? You're going to go and say, dude, I need the load test is your guarantee. It makes me go home. They can't sue the county anymore. Yeah. Makes you good because you're the owner and you load tested, which is what the law said. You can't get sued. And then if anything tragic happens in here, there's going to be an investigation. Something else happened here that we never foresaw or whatever, and nobody can get sued. There was a tragedy here, and there's insurance on the building, and not even the engineer that load tested this thing is going to get sued because he did what the law said. So there's 3 people in this that are not going to get sued. Somebody who's on the ground, but we'll investigate and see what happens. And some insurance is going to cover the situation because it was a freak accident that something else gave way that had nothing to do with this fire escape because the load test didn't show it. So that's the only thing that is now going to change you. And you're the first one in California that is now truly understanding that you have 3 codes to help you back up. Bring your partners in from the building department, and the NFPA is the only one that really says it as clear as day, which is the authority having jurisdiction shall be permitted to approve any existing fire escape stair that has been shown by a load test or other satisfactory. So my job today, every time we deal with anything that's within your jurisdiction, I say, Tim, can I convince you not to do a load test? Say, talk to me, what do you got? We did this, short of replacing the whole thing, we did all these things. She's not going anyway, so it's good enough for me. You gonna have the engineer sign that? Yes. And there you have it. So that's
All right.
the class on top of the table.
Perfect.
Ready for some downtown walk around?
Let's do some downtown walk around.